State media reported militants ambushed buses traveling down a highway in central Syria early on Monday, killing 9 people, including a 13-year-old girl. The ambush is the second this week to target buses traveling between government-controlled areas and to be blamed on suspected IS militants. Another attack Wednesday killed nearly 30 people, most of them soldiers returning home for the holidays. IS militants were believed to be behind the attack. Afghan government representatives and Taliban officials are due to resume their power-sharing talks, officials said Monday, although battlefield clashes and targeted killings risk undermining efforts to end the war. The talks began in Qatar in September, months after the Taliban reached an agreement with the United States, allowing it to pull its troops out of Afghanistan and end its longest war in exchange for Taliban security guarantees. The two Afghan sides got bogged down on procedures for weeks, but in December they reached an agreement on the process, clearing the way for them to get down to the issues when they resumed their negotiations on Tuesday. The U.S. reversed a decision to bring an aircraft carrier home from the Gulf Monday, with the Pentagon saying that due to recent threats, the USS Nimitz would stay in position. It has been patrolling Gulf waters since late November, but in a statement issued last week, Acting U.S. Defense Secretary Christopher Miller ordered the vessel to transit directly home to complete an early 10-month deployment. The New York Times, quoting U.S. officials, said this move was to avoid new conflict in President Donald Trump's last days in office. Nancy Pelosi, the only female U.S. Speaker of the House, was narrowly re-elected to the position Monday in a deeply divided new Congress that convened in the final weeks of Donald Trump's presidency. Pelosi faced a scare when 5 fellow Democrats defected and voted present or for someone else during the floor vote. For the woman who is third in line to the presidency, secured her fourth and perhaps final non-consecutive term as House Speaker by earning 216 votes versus 209 for Republican leader Kevin McCarthy. In a symbolic gesture, McCarthy formally handed over the gavel to Pelosi. Japan is considering declaring a state of emergency for Tokyo and 3 surrounding prefectures as early as this week, Fuji TV reported on Monday, as coronavirus cases climb and strain the country's medical system. Japan saw a record 4,520 new cases on December 31st in a fresh wave of infections, prompting the capital and neighboring prefectures to call on the national government to announce an emergency declaration. Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga has so far resisted those calls, mindful of the potential damage to the economy. He is set to hold a news conference to mark the start of 2021 later on Monday. Scotland will on Monday enter another effective national lockdown, which is likely to last until spring. Scottish leader Nicola Sturgeon said earlier her cabinet would meet on Monday to discuss possible further steps to limit the spread of the virus and order Scotland's parliament to be recalled. According to media reports, it is expected the reopening of schools will be pushed back beyond January 18th. Britain will become the first country to roll out the low-cost and easily transportable AstraZeneca and Oxford University COVID-19 vaccine on Monday, another step forward in the global response to the pandemic. 6 hospitals in England will administer the first of around 530,000 doses Britain has ready. The program will be expanded to hundreds of other British sites in the coming days, and the government hopes it will deliver tens of millions of doses within months. Thousands of people were lining up in Beijing to receive a COVID-19 vaccine as China races to inoculate millions before the Chinese New Year mass travel season in February. More than 73,000 people in the Chinese capital have received the first dose of the vaccine over the last couple of days, state media reported Monday, including community workers and bus drivers. Health authorities on New Year's Eve granted conditional approval to a vaccine candidate made by Chinese pharma giant Sinopharm, which the company said had a 79% efficacy rate. Vietnam has agreed to buy 30 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine produced by AstraZeneca, the government said today, adding that authorities are also seeking to purchase vaccines from other sources, including Pfizer. The Southeast Asian country had previously agreed to get a Russian vaccine, though it also said it would not rush to secure vaccine deals, citing the potential for high financial costs and after managing to contain its coronavirus outbreaks to only 1,494 cases with 35 deaths. The AstraZeneca and Oxford University COVID-19 vaccine is cheaper than some others and can be stored at fridge temperatures, which make it easier to transport and use, particularly in developing countries. South Korea expanded a ban on private gatherings larger than 4 people to the whole country and extended unprecedented social distancing rules in Greater Seoul as the number of daily cases bounced back to more than 1,000 in 4 days. South Korea has been experiencing a prolonged surge in infections during the latest wave, which has led to a sharp increase in deaths. The Korea Disease Control and Prevention Agency, the country reported 1,020 new coronavirus cases as of Sunday midnight, bringing the total to 64,264 infections with 981 deaths. At least 20 people were killed in northern India on Monday after a roof collapsed at a crematorium amid heavy rains, police said. Rescue workers spent hours searching the rubble for survivors of the collapse, which occurred in the city of Ghaziabad on the outskirts of New Delhi. Local media reported the 30 people were rescued, while at least 15 were injured and taken to hospital. Rescue workers have uncovered a 7th body from a landslide that buried homes in a village near Norway's capital, police said Monday, with a 2-year-old girl and her father among the dead. The tragedy occurred early on Wednesday when houses were destroyed and shifted hundreds of meters under a torrent of mud in the village of Ask, 25 kilometers northeast of Oslo. A police spokesman said they hoped to find more survivors in the landslide zone and said the rescue operation is ongoing until they decide otherwise. Oil prices edged lower on Monday, the first day of 2021 trading, ahead of a meeting of OPEC and allied producers to discuss output levels for February, with fears for first-half demand seeping into the market as the coronavirus pandemic lingers. Brent crude for March was at $51.76 per barrel, down 4 cents, while US West Texas Intermediate crude for February fell 9 cents to $48.43 per barrel. Mohammed Barkindo, Secretary General of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, said that while crude demand is expected to rise by 5.9 million barrels per day to 95.9 million barrels per day this year, the group sees plenty of downside demand risks in the first half of 2021.